The energy is not what makes the music complicated.
Mm-hmm.
What makes the music more complex is the arrangement based on the genre. So at a fundamental level, the most basic way we can think about any music in any genre is that there is a subject and a background, kind of like in a photo or a movie. And the subject is the melody, and that doesn't have to have words, right? It could just be the melody. And then the background is the arrangement or the chords. So what actually ends up taking up a lot of the time is the background, funnily enough. Because if you think about it, if I just take a photo of you against a white background, it's like, well, it's okay, it's Ashton in a white background, right? But if I take a photo of you and there's like literal fireworks going off behind you, that's a pretty exciting background, right?
Yeah.
But think about the amount of work that would go into get that photo of those fireworks going off behind you. We need to have safety. We need to have someone who is such a good photographer that they'd be able to capture the light in a way where we'd be able to see you and the fireworks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
So when we think about what's complex is not the genre. Well, what's complex is not the energy. What's complex is how that energy is created by the background. But there's ways of creating energy that's more simple. So energy can actually just be achieved through speed and by using certain note combinations.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have like a full orchestra. Like, have you heard some 8-bit stuff that like really rocked pretty hard?
Oh man, I mean, yeah. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that do? That proves the point that it doesn't have to be complex to have energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in terms of where you would start, I wouldn't recommend that you start somewhere with less energy and then work your way up to more energy. In fact, I would recommend you start at high energy, considering that's where you want to be, but start at a much lower resolution, less complex level of doing higher energy that you can then grow into. Does that make sense?
I gotcha. Yeah.
It's like you see Olympians train for the 100-meter sprint versus the 1 kilometer, and the way their bodies look is radically different. Right? The guys who do the 100-meter sprint, they have muscles. They look like pit bulls, right? Right? And then the guys who do the long running, they look like greyhounds. So when we're thinking about that, we want to make sure that the effort that you're putting into music and the time you're putting into music is going to get you to develop the skills and the way of looking at it that's going to help you do what you want to do. So it is true that training for the 400 meter would make you a pretty good 100-meter sprinter, but if you just train for the 100 meter, you will be a much better 100-meter sprinter. It makes sense?
Yeah, you got to train for what you want. So
real quick, I'm going to show you the exact 6-stage roadmap, going from having never composed a single note of music to composing music that's good enough to go into PC and console games, and if you decide you want to, all the way to getting paid to compose music that I've done for myself and helped other composers do multiple times, so I can say with a lot of confidence that these are the levels you're going to go through as your skills increase. And I broke each one of these down by the 4 most critical shifts that need to happen at each level. What the blockers feel like, what the symptoms are when you're going through it, and then what steps I and everyone I've helped go through this took to graduate to the next level. And we've done this across every game genre of music and every genre of game, chiptune, full orchestral, hybrid, action games, puzzle games, simulators, roguelites, shooters, and it works everywhere. And it's my gift to you. It's absolutely free. And the link is in the video description, or you could just go to bestmusiccoach.com/roadmap, enter your info. It'll spit it right back out of you. And again, it's my gift to you. It's free.